Welcome back, everybody. Now today I'm taking a look at the Top Ramen Microwave Cooker, which supposedly allows you to make ramen in your microwave instead of on the stovetop like the directions call for. Now originally I was going to do the Rapid Ramen Cooker, which I had a lot of requests for. I thought I had one, but when I didn't pull out of the garage, actually I had the Rapid Brownie Baker instead because the packaging looks the same. So I went on Bed Bath & Beyond's website, found this for a whopping $4. So what I'm going to do is compare this to the stovetop method and the hack my kids have been using since they were in middle school to see if you even need a big piece of plastic in your kitchen to make ramen. So without further delay, let's get started. One thing I noticed about the packaging, it says no need to fuss with pots or use the stove. That's kind of funny because their stovetop directions don't say it's a fuss. They say that's how you're supposed to do it. What is it, Top Ramen? Is it a fuss or is it not? There really isn't much to this. It is a big square piece of plastic, that's it. Looks like it's going to fit perfectly in there. What I want to do first though, before I get to the Rapid Ramen Cooker, is I want to make a package of Top Ramen on the stovetop. Now I've made a lot of Top Ramen in my day. There were times in my life where I practically lived on this stuff, so it's not that hard, it's not rocket science. But let me do one, I'm going to time it. I'm going to compare the time, I'm going to compare the texture in the microwave versus the stovetop and see which one's better. All right, I've got 2 cups of water in there as the directions call for. I'm going to turn it on the stove and turn on the stopwatch and see how long the entire process takes. And we're off. We gotta let the water boil and then add the ramen. All right, we're at about 5 minutes and it is now boiling. But the instructions say to boil for 3 minutes. It has been about 3 minutes. So I turn the heat off. I don't know why. I mean, do I really need to do that? Oh, I do it anyways. I bet you do too. From start to finish, just about 9 minutes. And we have a beautiful pot of ramen here. Okay, I'm gonna take about half of this. I'm just gonna take all of it. Why take half when you can have all of it? There we go. Oh, beautiful, isn't it? Ah, brings back good memories. A nice steaming bowl of ramen made on the stovetop. So this is my control test versus when I use the Top Ramen Microwave Cooker, which is coming up next. Now we know the time is about 9 minutes. I also want to try the one from the stovetop to get an idea what the texture's like so I can compare those as well, because I was always under the impression that microwaving ramen kind of made it a little bit different. Let me try the stovetop one to get a good idea. Just like I always used to make it. By the way, I was at the grocery store. The last time I went to the grocery store, which was maybe close to 2 weeks ago. I've been having my groceries delivered since then, but the last time I was at the store, the ramen aisle was completely empty. I couldn't find it. I think even the shrimp was gone. And does anybody even like the shrimp? Well, I guess some people do. That's not very popular in this household, but no hating on the shrimp, just in my household, nobody buys shrimp. Ramen's kind of a top commodity right here. So this is probably up there with the toilet paper and cleaning supplies as something that if you have some, you're lucky. But I digress. Let's look at the Top Ramen Cooker now and see how this process works. I've already cleaned this in the sink, by the way. All you're supposed to do is add ramen, put water to the fill line, and microwave for 3 minutes, and then add the seasoning. That sounds easy. I will forever think of Justin Timberlake whenever I see this. Old school Justin Timberlake. All right, that is to the fill line, and so that's about 1 cup of water, which is interesting because the other one uses 2 cups. Now the top part's dry. Do I need to like get that wet or something? I don't know. It doesn't say to do that. It just says place it in there, add the water, and nuke it, which is what I'm going to do right now. There it goes. And we're off. 3 minutes. Do I think that the Top Ramen in the microwave for 3 minutes is going to be as good as the stovetop? I do not. But I'm a little bit old school, so let's see how it turns out. By the way, Bailey's in here because she knows I'm making food, so she's just laying on the floor waiting for me. She's waiting for me to drop something. Bailey. And there we go. Oh, wow. It's like still, like, I don't know what I expected, but it's still a big block. It's steaming though, and the handle isn't that hot. Well, I mean, it's done. It's done. I might try this again, breaking it up, because I don't like that. It seems like maybe I have to let it sit for a little bit because the noodles, I don't know. I might try it again and break it up because I don't like, some people like that. I don't like that. I like the broken up version. But let me taste this and see what happens. I don't know, man. I think the texture of the stovetop is better than the one in the Top Ramen Cooker. I'm gonna try it again in the Top Ramen Cooker. I'm not convinced that that was the best I could do. I think I can do better. And I've got more of this orange gold in my cabinet, so I got another one to make. All right, just comparing the two right now, you can see obviously the stovetop has more water because I added 2 cups instead of 1. I feel like the stovetop was better. It may have been 4 minutes longer. This is 3 minutes in the microwave, probably another minute of adding the seasoning, stirring it, putting the water in there. So maybe 4 minutes versus 9. Maybe it's 5 minutes faster. I think this one's better, but I don't give up on products that easily. I'm gonna do it again. This time I'm gonna add more water. I'm gonna break it up first and see if that works better. So let's try that. Take 2 with the top ramen cooker. This time I'm breaking it up. I'm curious if you prefer to break it up or not. I'm gonna put a poll up above if you see it to see if you like it broken or not broken. This time I'm gonna add more water. I got 1.5 cups here, so it should go above the fill line. I don't care, it's going above the fill line. It does say you can add more water if you want more broth, but it doesn't say to add more time. I'll go 3 minutes anyways. Here we go, top ramen cooker. Take 2. Boom. Now we wait. And well, that looks a little bit better, I think. It doesn't seem like in the microwave it breaks apart as much as when it's on the stovetop. To me, that looks better than this. It has very little liquid in there. And as it sits, it actually has less. Whereas this one from the stovetop still has some in it. Let's try it out. I still don't think the texture is as good as on the stovetop. I do think that the adding more liquid and breaking up first is better. I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna do my kids what I call the middle school hack, which they've been doing for 10 years now. See how that compares to the Rapid Ramen Cooker to see if you even need it. So I just got a basic bowl right here. I'm gonna have my son oversee me while I'm doing it to make sure I'm doing it according to how they've done it for all these years. So let's see how that goes. All right, step 1 of the middle school hack, break it up. I guess step 1 would be get a bowl. Step 2 is break it up. Step 3 is to fill it up with water. This is how much he put. This is how much he put, not me. This is not me talking. So if you don't like it, you can mess with my cameraman. All right, so step 4 would be nuke it for 3 minutes, which is the same as the top ramen cooker instructions. So we're consistent there. And let's see how that goes. Boom. And now we wait. And there it is. Here we go. I have to step over Bailey to get over here. All right, so here's how this one looks. It doesn't look much different than this one did when it first came out of the microwave. This one's starting to solidify a little bit as the noodles soak it up. My son, he typically drains all the liquid out so it looks more like this one, and he uses a fork. I'm a little bit old school. I like all the liquid and I use a spoon. I'm sure there are people out there that think that's ridiculous and some people think that's normal. That's how it goes on YouTube. When you do one thing, everybody out there that has a different opinion than you says you're wrong. Let me try the middle school hack version. I mean, really no difference. These two are the same to me. They're exactly the same. The only difference right now is that this one's been sitting. So I'm gonna take a look at all these side by side and see how they all look. All right, this was the stovetop version that took 9 minutes. This was the original version in which I had less water. I didn't break it up beforehand. And as you can see, the water's mostly soaked up now. This took about 4 minutes. Actually, all of these took about 4 minutes. This is the top ramen cooker with my alter version with more water and broken up. I think that looks quite acceptable. And this one is what my son has been doing since middle school. The middle school hack, basically you're doing the same thing. You break it up, add however much water you want, and then of course drain it to taste. All right, so which one do you guys think looks best? Or which one do you think might have the best texture? Stovetop, top ramen cooker, strict instructions, top ramen cooker alternate instructions, middle school hack, which is the same as the top ramen alternate instructions. So it occurred to me that even though the stovetop version takes longer, when you take it off the stovetop, the noodles are completely cooked. When you put it in the microwave for 3 minutes, this noodles still have to sit for a while before they soak up some water and they're completely done. So I don't think there's much of a time savings, to be honest. Yeah, it's done after 3 minutes, but as I'm eating these as they sit, those that have been sitting in the broth longer actually taste more like the one on the stovetop. So really it seems like you put it in the microwave for 3 minutes, let it sit for 5, or do it for 8 minutes on the stove, which is the same thing. I don't think you need it. And even if you want to do it in the microwave, you can use a bowl and get the same results. So to me, I think the top ramen microwave cooker does not have a place in your kitchen. There's no need for it. If you have a bowl, you don't really need it. Once they've sat, there's no discernible difference between them. It's just a matter of, do you want your time to spend on the stovetop or spent sitting on the counter while it cools off and absorbs more broth. I'm also interested if you have ramen with less broth and a fork or more and a spoon. Am I in the minority or am I in the majority there? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If interested, there's a Q&A at the end. Otherwise, please subscribe for more product reviews from me, James White, with Freakin' Reviews. All right, welcome back to the bonus content of this video. The review is over. I got a few leftover questions from my previous Q&A I want to get to, and a couple other things. So let me jump right into it. This comes from Alyssa in Buffalo on Instagram, and she asked, when you were a kid, what was one of the things you wanted to be when you grew up? Well, I think when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an airline pilot, and then when I became a teenager, I was afraid to fly, so that didn't really work out too well. When I was a young teen, I wanted to be a film historian, specializing in silent comedies and early sound comedies. Then I realized there really is a lot of job opportunities for something like that, so that also fell by the wayside. And I also became a musician around that time too, so that's where my interest went at that point. Definitely didn't aspire to be on YouTube because YouTube didn't exist back then. I have two questions from Oliver Hester in Kansas from Instagram. His first question is, what inspired you to do reviews? Now, I had a blog I was doing back in 2011, and I saw a commercial for the Wax Vac, which is the ASEAN TV product that you stick in your ear, and I kind of wrote an article goofing on it, and I got a lot of response for that, so I just kind of started doing more like that. Before I knew it, I had a whole website just doing ASEAN TV product reviews, so that's how that happened. It was a complete fluke. It was one blog post that was the one-off thing that led to everything else. He also asked, how many products have you tested altogether? Now, I know that this is supposed to be around my 346th video, but I've done a lot of videos with multiple products in them, so I would guess probably in the 500 range at this point, and I'd be hard pressed to name all of them. Now, this one I was asked anonymously, but I've been asked this one before, which is, do you pay for the products you review or do you get them for free from the companies? Most of the time, over 90% of the time, I buy the products myself. Now, the mail time videos, I don't pay for those. There's been a couple of times where I was sent something where I arranged from the company that something wasn't available to the general public. In those cases, yes, but generally I buy them myself, and there's a good reason for that. So early on in my YouTube career, there was a product that was being heavily advertised. I really wanted to get it, but it wasn't out on shelves yet. So I contacted the company, explained who I was, and I told them that I would like to get a copy. So the very nice person there mailed me a copy. And it turns out the product was terrible. So I felt really guilty ripping that product to shreds in my review. And what I learned from that is there's a lot of product reviews out there that a lot of their reviews are for free items. And that's fine, but I'm telling you that no matter how unbiased you think you are, when a very nice person sends you a product for free, it's hard to rip that product to shreds. I'd rather be disassociated from them, buy it myself, and give you a fair review. Now, that said, almost inevitably, whenever I review a product, I hear from the company afterwards, whether it's a good or bad review. I usually hear from them. So for that reason, I'd like to buy the products myself and then hear from them later. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a Q&A for my next video, but I got one new feature that's gonna feature, if all goes well, these sticky hands. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's kind of a little teaser for my next bonus material. I'm not even sure what my next video is going to be yet. With this whole kind of stay-at-home, ordering everything online culture, I've just been kind of ordering a bunch of stuff and kind of figuring it out as I go. Here's one I just ordered. I have no idea if I'm even going to review this or not, but it looked interesting. And look at the packaging. What? This came from Bed Bath & Beyond. Come on, guys. You guys can do better than that. But this is it just looked interesting. It's called the Zip Slicer. And I don't know if I'm going to review it or not. It looks interesting. If anybody has used something like that, tell me what you think of it, because I might do a multiple kitchen product review coming up soon, and this will be in there. I don't know, but at this point, I'm just trying to stockpile as many interesting gadgets as I can, because I'm trying to A, crank out more videos more often, and B, I can't go to stores and shop around anymore, so I'm kind of stuck with what I can find online. And Amazon is slower than it used to be as well, so I'm trying to just improve the process a little bit. Well, that's it for the bonus content. I appreciate everybody who stuck around to watch this part. If you have any more ideas, you have any questions, any comments, hit me up on my social media. That's where I'm usually quick to respond. I hope everybody's staying safe out there, and I'll see you next time.